What is going on, y'all, and welcome back to the Average Homeowner's YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing an install and a review on the Rubbermaid Fasttrack rail system, which is garage storage. We're out here in the new shop and we need storage for all of our hanging stuff, our equipment, our yard equipment, our garden equipment, our tools, some of our bigger stuff. So we're going to put a Fasttrack rail system up on this wall. I'm going to show you how to do it, the tools you need, and give it a review. Let's go. It is a terrible day here in Texas. It's raining like crazy outside, probably the nastiest Easter we've had in a while. So inside today, I don't know if you can hear that, the rain is coming down like crazy. Inside today, we are going to be installing this Rubbermaid Fasttrack system. I've used a version of it before, but this one's new and improved. So it's got a bunch of different hooks and things so I can store like the weed eaters vertically. We'll be able to hang everything and I'll show you that at the end. But for now, what I need you to do is go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. That way you continue to see my videos and we can grow the channel. But let's get into it. For this install, we're gonna need, first of all, the Rubbermaid Fasttrack system. We got the 24-piece system with high and low rails with the additional hangers that comes from Amazon. I also have some of the hangers that I had at the previous house. I left the rails on the wall, but I took my additional hangers with me. For the install, you're going to need a few different things. You're going to need, first of all, a stud finder to find your studs in the wall to hang this on. If you're going to hang anything heavy, you want to make sure you go into the studs and don't use drywall anchors. You need a tape measure because you're going to be measuring, not only can you measure to find your studs as well, like we're 24 on center, but you're going to want to measure so that you're even with your tracks because it's multiple pieces. So in the shop here, we're going to go ahead and measure from the ceiling down, not from the floor up. And the reason we're gonna do that is because if you measure from the floor up, your track's gonna be running at an angle because we have a sloped floor so the garage will wick water out of it. The ceiling is going to be flat, and how do you test this? You use a level. You're also gonna wanna put a level on your system as you're installing it between pieces to make sure there's continuity with the level of the Fasttrack system because the plastic or composite guides that slide over the rails need to be level. Next, you're going to need some sort of cutting device, some sort of knife to open your box, and also to sharpen your handy dandy carpenter's pencil. Make sure you have some sort of pencil or marking device so you can mark the studs and mark your heights for installing the rails. Next, we're going to need good old yellow 20-volt max drill and some sort of screws. Now, obviously this kit is going to come with some sort of screws with it. However, I like to use the 3.5-inch anchors into my 3.5-inch studs. That way I know it's bound in there tight and I don't have to worry about anything falling off. But for now, let's get this open and unpacked and see what's in the kit, and then we'll go ahead with the install. So this is going to be your wall anchor system as well as all your screws. I'm actually not disappointed in how big those screws are. So I think I'm actually going to use this kit. We won't need the wall anchors, but we will use those screws. We'll save some of our good ones. Lots of these little hooks. This box feels incredibly hollow, so I have no idea what would be in here. I feel like this was supposed to be some of the hangers, but they're all unpacked. Yeah, literally a box of nothingness. I guess they gave you something to put your trash in, so that's good. Also in today's video, we are using our new Husky table. This Husky table, I think I'm gonna use in most of the videos because it's a great way to move it around and display things throughout the shop. So if you need anything from Husky, we use them for all of our shop cabinets. We've got a bunch more coming in. We'll do an install video when those new cabinets come in as well. But for the price, Husky is about as good as you can get for garage install and storage solutions. So unless you want to really break the bank, that's what I tend to stick with. Now for the rails, we've actually got 2, 4, 6 rails. And what we're going to do with those is we're going to do 3 rails across the top, 3 rails across the bottom. So what we're going to need to do now is go ahead and get these unplastic and then find our heights and mark our studs so that we can get the rails installed. Before you do that, one of the things about the rail system from Rubbermaid is you're going to want to take the metal rail itself, which is incredibly sturdy, and you're going to want to separate it from the composite overlay, which is what all of the different storage clasps click onto. You're gonna wanna pull this off because we're not installing this right now. Right now we're just installing the metal rail, and we're gonna come back and install the composite material over top. So we're gonna be hanging our rail system at 7 feet and at 3 feet. So we're gonna go ahead now and find our studs, and then we're gonna mark our ceiling drop down heights so that we know exactly where to install screws when we start hanging the rail system. And a key thing to note, if you do have electrical outlets, that's a key indicator. Electrical outlets go up against a stud bay, so you know on the left side or the right side of that, you should have a stud that you can screw into. Just keep that in mind. It's a quick little tip that'll save you time and effort when you're trying to locate studs in these big walls. Now, we just want to double check our work here. Found 2 studs. We want to check our markings. They should be 24 inches apart. They are exactly 24 inches apart. So that lets us know that now we can anchor into the first one on this rail and just move them every 24 inches and we should be fine. It's the microphone, not my pencil. I used to have my pencil right there where the mic is, so that makes it a little tough. So we're gonna find 3 feet right here. That's 3 feet down from the ceiling. And then as long as we use the level to install the rails, we're gonna be even all the way across, and that's what's important. Find your 3 foot initially, but don't get overbearing about it and measure every single one. As long as you keep level, you'll be fine. All right, let's get to hanging. A bunch of screws. Get our screw gun. Move this camera up so y'all can see as we get going here. Yes. And we're gonna need our level. So we don't need the level yet. We can go ahead and get the first screw in. Well, that wasn't ideal, but we are gonna need that level eventually. But what I was saying is we can get our first screw in, and you don't even have to worry about this being set correctly. You can just let it hang and go ahead and put your first screw in, because we just want to make sure we get into a stud, and then we'll turn this and make sure it's plumb. Oh yeah, that's in a stud. So now we need our levels. I guess we'll get back down. Okay, and right there we are true. So we're gonna move the level to the bottom to hold it up. Make sure we stay true. Find our screw hole that's closest to our stud bay. It's gonna be this one. Hope we get it right. We're gonna go at an angle because the stud does look like it's a little off. Oh, but we definitely found it. We're going to do top and bottom on these because we are going to have some heavier stuff hanging on them. Okay. Get our second rail here. So as we go, we're just going to keep using that, and we're going to stay level and keep moving across. But use the level to do it. Don't try and measure every time. You'll end up, if there's a deviation in the ceiling or the floor, you'll end up with issues. Using the level is your safest bet. 24 on center. Oh, it's just after this one, so we are going to have to do a little tie-in here. That one's coming out. We screwed that one up. And if you screw one up, like you stripped the head or something, just take it out, start over. There's no reason to leave a stripped head in the wall, and then you got to deal with it later if you ever try and fix anything. All right, so we are done. Let me turn this a little bit. You can see we've got our metal rails up. Now it's time to take the Fasttrack. You're gonna wanna make sure left to right, top to bottom, the wording, that's how you're gonna wanna clasp that on. That's how it reads, that's how you wanna install it. It's gonna slide over our rail system. And as you can see from the profile there is a hook and block. Hook is on the top, lock is on the bottom. That's so when we go to put our different hanging devices on, that they lock in place. I think you can also just snap it on. Let's see. You can just snap it on from the top too. So either way you want to do it. And just like that, you've got the Rubbermaid Fasttrack System installed on your walls. Now, how much will it hold? How will it dress up? How will it look once we get everything hung on it? We've got all these different hangers. I've got some in my bucket below. We're gonna go ahead and get this wall set up, and then I'll give you my honest feedback on what I think of it. All right, now let's go get all the tools we're gonna hang on it. Also, let me just say this. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know I am a DeWalt guy. But if you're ever digging post holes or need a set fence and you don't have the Ryobi post hole 6-inch auger for like 180 bucks, which I've linked to below, you gotta have one of these. I mean, it will burn through some dirt. We use it in this Texas clay, and it digs holes that used to take me 20 minutes in about 2 minutes. So I promise you, you'll be the most popular guy on your block. It is worth the investment. And the third weed eater, the one I actually use. Let's start with the Ryobi auger. See if I can find anything that'll hold it up. There's a bunch of different hooks. Some of these, like this one I bought before that I got for different things, but it looks like some of them may work better for different tools now that we're in this shop. And that holds the Ryobi auger perfectly. So, first piece of equipment going on the wall is the Ryobi auger. Oh, perfect fit. Okay, let's see what we can do about these weed eaters. They don't look like they're gonna take that much. DeWalt 20 volt max weed eater. We'll put that one right here. Lock snaps right into place. And perfect. Next, let's do my main weed eater. This one is a little heavier, so we're gonna use one of these bigger clasps for it. This is the weed eater and edger that I use on a regular basis. Oh yeah, and it's off the wall. That's one of the beautiful things about those bigger hooks. They push it off the wall so you don't have to worry about scuffing it and scraping it. I need to get all this cleaned. I need to blow all this out before it's all done. Okay, let's see what small tools we can fit in between there. Let's see. I think we can do the pickaxe and the split and maul. Split and maul can go right here. That'll sit back. Oh yeah, perfect. Here I think we'll do the pick. This stuff has been through an absolute beating since we built this shop. We've been going like crazy, but getting it up on the wall is gonna make for a little reprieve, I think. And there you go. That is the Rubbermaid Fasttrack System installed. I think it's worth the money. I'd go ahead and get one, link in the description below. It's not expensive, it's an easy solution, and it's something that can really take your garage to the next level when you're trying to organize all of your individual equipment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.